Hi everyone, so I said I'm going to do these updates and I just made a video. It was 11 minutes long and I thought no, I'm not uploading that, it's too long, so I'm just going to get straight into it now. So I'm doing a review of every day at Wimbledon, and all it is my little highlights of the games that I've watched and my thoughts on that. You can also obviously watch a professional BBC highlights show, which is probably going to be better than this, but as if you're a tennis fan like I am, then it's just something I said I'm going to do. And next year, hopefully I'll be at Wimbledon, I'll be able to do, take some pictures there, I'll be able to do a proper, more professional like video. But for now, I'm just going to talk to you about the games that I've watched today. There's still one that's ongoing, so I'm not going to include that properly because the outcome of that's still to be decided. So I've been watching tennis today since 11:30 on and off. Obviously in between watching the tennis matches, I'm doing my work. Yesterday was a bit long because it was kind of like getting used to like changing in your routine, and also I don't usually watch TV at all during the day, so putting the TV on in the morning and then watching it all the way till 8 o'clock last night, that's what I did. So today I started off watching, the first game that I sort of watched was Harriet Dart versus Zhu Zhan Bai. I'm gonna guess that's what it is, Chinese player. Yeah, it was a good game. It was suspended because of rain for a little bit, so I didn't watch the whole game, because then when it went back there was another game playing at the same time. So yeah, what I like about Harriet Dart, she's one of my favourite British female tennis players, because she's just quite disciplined. She plays like she means business. She doesn't like play to the crowd. She's not very emotional. She's not very she just gets on with it. There's certain players, especially in some of the matches I've been watching today, where they're literally just there to play. They're there to win. They're just getting on with business. They're getting it done. And she's that type of player. So that was the first match, and she won. She won her tennis match. She's going to be going on to play, who's she going to play against? Against Katie Bolter. So she's going to be playing her at some point. I think that's in a few days, I think they said. So yeah, she had a good game. She's quite reliable. She's one of those top tennis players where what you see is what you get. She puts the work in, she plays well. So yeah, the second game that I watched half of as well, because that was suspended due to rain. That game went on for 4 hours. I mean, it's good that you can actually go to Wimbledon and you can watch a tennis match, and you can either get your tickets, or if you're on the outside court, some of them you can just stand and there's no seats and things. 4 hours and 1 minute is a long time to play tennis for, so with this guy, he was young. He's I mean, I don't know like what number he is like in terms of the tennis players and things like that. See, look at me, I'm talking like I don't know anything about tennis, but I've never heard of him anyway. But he's a young guy, and apparently they said it's his first time at Wimbledon. He was playing against someone from Brazil. The Brazilian won in the end. When I watched it, I could see that he was struggling, but at the same time, because it kept going, I think he won the first 2 sets, then he lost the 2 more, and then I think it went to 5 sets. That's why it took up to 4 hours, and then he lost in the end. So yeah, it's his first time at Wimbledon. He'll be back. It's not anything for him to feel, ashamed about. There was no pressure there. Then the third game that I watched was Elena Rybakina, I think that's how you say her name, versus I can't pronounce her name either. So to me, Elena, I'll just call her Elena, is one of those types of players, because she's Russian born. I know that she's now, I think, playing for the Czech Republic or somewhere else. I know that she's changed because she lives somewhere different. She's kind of one of those players that is just emotionless. She just plays in a very robotic way, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think some of these players, especially Djokovic is another one, that's how they play. They're there for tennis. They're there to just get on with the game. They're not interacting with the crowd as much. They're not kind of getting emotional when they lose, a point, or when they make an error. They're just there for business. They're straight there to get on with it. I mean, she played, it took her 1 hour and 11 minutes just to win, which is quite a quick time. Yeah, she's on to the next round. She's got to the final. I think she's actually won Wimbledon before, and she's got to the final and semi-final. So there's a good chance that she'll be able to do that again. Now, the big upset of the day really was Jessica Monero from Spain. Now, this is the first time that she's played on grass apparently, and she was against Marketa Vondrousova. See, I'm not good. From the Czech Republic. So what was interesting about that is Vondrousova, they said, the commentary, that this is the first time that a champion, because she was champion from last year, has lost in 30 years in the first round. Now, that's not a statistic you want, against you, but at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do. Apparently, she's had injuries. I only saw a glimpse of that match because there were so many other games that are going on today that, I was able to I was working part of the day. I was also able to just look at the different games that were going on. They said you have to use the iPlayer for some of them. So that was one of them that I got a glimpse of. So yeah, that was a big upset. Also, Andy Murray, that was the story as well of today, that he is, I suppose everyone knew deep down, because yesterday he was saying that he's got his ankle is still, he's got a leg injury or his ankle injury. People probably knew, but everyone was still hoping. I went to bed last night with my fingers crossed thinking, I hope he can come through. Andy Murray, he's one of my favourite British players. I think because he's won Wimbledon, which is a big thing. I'm sure there's not been many British winners, but also it's because even last year when he was playing for that 3-hour epic tennis match where literally I couldn't eat. I think I was on Facebook the whole time. I was saying, I need to go and eat something. I think it went on till about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It was just, well, it went on till at least 9. It just was going on and on and on. And I think it's just the fact that, you know what, mate, he really wants it badly. And it's a shame. He said he was disappointed. So that was a big, not a shock, but it was just a big loss. So then I watched Djokovic versus Vit Kapriva, from Czech Republic. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. That took 2 hours. I think Djokovic is my favourite tennis player, overall at the minute. I think he's been my favourite for about probably 4 years. His games are just smooth and straightforward. You sort of know what you're going to get. They're not intense. They're not entertainment. He's not Boris Becker, who when I used to watch him, he's rolling against the net, and he's not a showman. So it's an okay game. I literally went and done the washing up because I know that he's going to win. I had that confidence, but at the same time I wasn't sat there glued to the screen. I mean, everyone doesn't have to be there for entertainment purposes, because again, he's someone that just wants to get on with it. He wants to get through that round as quick as he can because he knows there's loads more to come, and this is only day 2, remember. So to me, this has probably been one of the most interesting tournament days in a while, because I can't remember last year it being this interesting just on the second day. But yeah, I've been watching it on and off, and it's been interesting. Then another game was Katie Boulter versus Tatiana Maria. So Tatiana Maria, she played against Ons Jabeur in the semi-finals. They were friends as well, and I think Ons Jabeur beat her, but she played a good game today. Katie Boulter was not lucky, I can't say that, because she's won Nottingham. She's the #1 British player in the in Britain. I do like her. I like Katie Boulter, I'm not going to lie, but I think the amount of errors she was making, when it got to I think 23 minutes into the game, she'd made 17 errors. Now that's too much. And then later on, she kept messing it. She's one of those players that makes you you don't feel she's in control of the game. She won it, and I'm not saying she's not a good player, because obviously she is. She's the top of her game, but I don't think if she's up against someone who's a stronger opponent, what's going to happen, because she just doesn't seem to have control of her game for whatever reason. It could be the mental thing. It could be the fact that she's just missing these shots. She plays in a hurried way. That's it. My description of Katie Boulter would be she's rushing. She's all over the court. She's rushing, but you don't feel like she's in control. So that was that. But she won. I mean, she was 4-1 down to start with. She got all the way back up. I think at point when it got to 32 minutes, by that stage she'd had so many errors, and eventually she stepped up. So you've got to give her credit where it's due. She eventually stepped up and won the game. So there's nothing wrong with that. Then who else did we have today? Then, there's been the other game that I watched, I think, is just the one that's going on at the minute. So the game that's going on at the minute is Jack Draper. So he's against this guy called Elias Ema from Sweden. So this is a guy that's never played at Wimbledon before. Initially when I was watching it, I think it was equal. Then I came in here, done a video, then I went back. I think now it's in the 5th set, I think. So who knows what's going to happen. Jack Draper is, you know, he's a good player. Is he number 1 as well? I think he's number 1 as well, British player. So we'll see what happens. I think, yeah, do you know what it is? I don't know. There is going to be British players that are going to get further in the competition. It's only day 2. It's only the 2nd round. But I don't know. I'm not going to say that there is going to be a British player in the semi-finals or in the quarterfinals. If there is, I'll be happy, because, you know, Andy Murray, now that he's gone, then it's just going to be difficult. But I think I just think there's a way of playing tennis that, like, some of the British players, so I'm not going to get critical and things, it's like just a different hunger. It's just a different level of power. But let's just see. I'm not going to get critical now. That has been my roundup. So the game of the day for me is Katie Boulter, because of the fact that I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know what's happening. It was unpredictable. And I love watching games where you don't know where it's going to go. So that's the reason, and the fact that she pulled through in the end. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've been watching. Let me know which games have been interesting to you. And leave a comment. Love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.